Hello, and welcome back to another video. This is my June wrap-up video, which is super exciting, because these are kind of where you get like, okay, these are the books I read this month, these are the ratings for them, this is my thoughts on them, I would recommend them, etc. And also, this month is the first month that 3 of my books that I read didn't have designated reading vlogs to them. I'll talk about those when I get there. And one of them I finished like without filming a video for it. I just read it. I started it in a video, but I finished it out of the video. I'll talk about that again once I get there. But yeah, let's give you a quick recap of my year though, because I have my reading journal right here. So because this is my June month. So my June TBR was 8 books. I read all 8 books, and then I added 2 more books to that. So I read 10 books this month, which is awesome. And then I read 3,705 pages, which again is awesome. I don't know how many hours yet, because there are still there's one more day left, like today and tomorrow left in June, so I'm not really focusing on that. But I read like 1,000 more, like 1,000 something more than last month, so that's pretty good. Now, let's dive right in to the first review, or recap, of the first book that I read this month. Okay, so the first book I read this month was The King's Scroll, which is the second book in the Alien Chronicles by J.L. Knight. Or is it J.R.? Yeah, J.L. Knight. I gave it 5 stars. I absolutely love this book and this series. It is a Christian fantasy without the magic. And it's so good. I loved the characters. I mean, I still love the characters, and we got to meet so many new ones who hopefully will come back in future books. And I love just the emotion that was in this book and the grief. Like, not loving the grief, no. But the way that the grief was written and the way that the grief was handled in this book, because there was a loss. And just the way that it was handled was beautiful and just very... like, oh, this is grief is not a good thing. It's a horrible feeling, and it hurts, and it's painful. But the way that the characters went through that and, pushed through that grief, they'll always feel that sadness and feel that emptiness of the loss. But they trusted in, I think it's Elohim for this book, is what they call God in this fantasy world, and they're like, I will rely on you and give me strength in this hard time. And it was so great, and I really loved that. It was so great. So I would say I would recommend this to anybody. It's clean, it's great, it's Christian, so you kind of can rely on it in that way. And another thing is, I feel like there are probably some parents out there who don't really want their kids reading things about magic or sorcery or wizardry. As when I was a kid, my parents weren't not my parents, but people are weren't super thrilled about kids reading Harry Potter, because oh, it's gonna make you want to do magic. Heads up, no, it didn't. I read it when I was 9. I'm perfectly fine. I've never wanted to do sorcery ever in my life. But this series has no magical elements in it. There's no magic, there's no sorcery, there's no nothing. It's a little bit more on the political side, since there's really no magic. And it sometimes feels like historical fiction in the sense, because it feels like we're put into the time period of the Roman Empire. So it's cool that way. And then, so there's been times where I'm just reading, there's a section of the book where I'm like, oh yeah, and then boom, dragons, and I'm just like, oh yeah, this is a fantasy, I completely forgot. And it's a pleasant surprise around every corner. So 10 out of 10 recommend this book. Alright, next was Shadow and Bone. I gave this book 3 stars. It's Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. It's the first book in the Shadow and Bone trilogy. Literally says it on the spine. And I think the first book in the Grishaverse, which is what her universe of books is called, the Grishaverse. And I would say this is a YA fantasy. It's great. I like the pacing. The pacing was probably the best part about it, because I wasn't ever bored while reading this. Now, I did give it a 3 stars because it was good. It wasn't my favorite book, But it was still good. I liked the pacing because I just couldn't put it down. Like, in a sense of like, oh, this is just really interesting. Not like, oh, I want it. Does anybody know what I'm meaning? Like, sometimes you, like, can't put a book down, not because you're like, this is amazing, I want to know what happens next. More like, this is just interesting. This world is so cool. Okay. Where you're like, I'm into the book, but I'm not, like, invested in the book, if that makes sense. I'm into it. I'm enjoying it. Maybe I really do need to make this a 4-star. I'm going to make this a 4-star book. Hold up. This is a 4-star book. We're going to fix that. It's a 4-star book. I'm like, this deserves 4 stars. It's not a 3-star book. It's a 4-star book. Correcting that. Because it is. I was very invested with it. I didn't, like, it was really good. It wasn't 5-star potential. There's 5-star potential in this series as a 5-star series, but it's as its own, it's a 4-star book. I think I like the characters. The characters were good, and again, I can't stress this enough. The pacing of it was great. It kept me engaged and entertained the whole time. And yeah, so I would 10 out of 10 recommend this to really anybody. As like anyone I feel like could read this. It's great. So, yeah. I don't really feel like I have any other words for this one. Alright, and next on our list is Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I think you all know where this is going to. If you watched my Reckless reading vlog or watched my Powerless one or my Powerful one, it's a 5-star book. So again, this is Reckless by Lauren Roberts. It is the second book in the Powerless trilogy. And it is YA romantasy. And this one, oh, it's so good. I don't know what else to say. This is amazing. This is so stinking good. I loved every second of this book. I ate this book up. Ate it up. This is a true 5-star because I was invested in this from the beginning. I love Peyton and Kai so much. Although the ending of this book, what? If you've read this book, please don't spoil it down below. No spoilers, but you know what I'm talking about if you've read this book and I haven't read Fearless yet. So again, no spoilers for Fearless either. But if you've read this book, you know what I mean by the ending. The ending was crazy. The ending was unexpected. Even though there were like foreshadowing, I guess looking back on it now that I finished it, there were some moments I guess were foreshadowing. But even then, I was like, I would not have, you would have had to reveal it to me this way because I would not have believed it if you would have revealed it in any other way. It was crazy, this ending. And I can't wait for Fearless because I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know how this is going to, oh, I think Fearless is going to kill me. I believe that Fearless is going to kill me. It's probably going to kill me. Not literally, just emotionally kill me. Because this one, I loved every moment of this book. I loved the banter. The banter gets 10 times better in this book. The tension is so good. Again, it is a romantasy, so I think I've talked about this before in other videos, but I'll just restate it here. Is that a romantasy is the romance aspect of it is a major plot point. It's a lot of the plot is the romance. While some other books like the Cruel Prince trilogy, I always say this because people get them confused. The Cruel Prince trilogy is not a romantasy. The romance in those books are great, but it is not a romantasy. It is a fantasy, first and foremost, with a subplot of romance. This is a romantasy. The romance is a part of the main plot. It is not a subplot. It is a part of the plot, and it is great. It is amazing. It is lovely. Love every second of it. So that's something that some people can get confused, like, oh yeah, like isn't Cruel Prince romantasy? Just because you hear a lot about the romance in the Cruel Prince, which it is a great romance, it is not a romantasy. It is a fantasy with a subplot of romance. So when you go into it, know that, because then you're gonna be like, where's the romance? The romance doesn't even really happen until the second book. So, but we're not talking about the Cruel Prince here. We're talking about this. I love it so much. I cannot wait to read the third one, and I cannot wait for Fearful. I don't even know what Fearful is about, but I cannot wait for it. So yeah, 10 out of 10, recommend this. Although I would like to say, I would probably recommend this for anyone like 15, 16 and older. Like this whole series, I mean, it's YA, but YA can range from like 13 to 18 or 19 really. Like YA kind of has ranges. So I'd say it's probably about 16 and up, but like the whole series in my mind is probably better for, well, maybe I don't know about the third one. So I can't really say the whole series because the third, I don't know what's gonna, they're fine. It's fine. I think I'm thinking about The Cruel Prince actually. Because that one, I would say the latter two are 16 and up, and the first one's 14 and up. But yeah, this one's fine. It's great. Love every second of it. I'm obsessed. Okay. So, I have had about 4 5-star reads this month, which is great. I don't normally do that. I rarely ever have this many 5-star reads. This is my first ever romance, just pure romance book that's ever gotten a 5-star for me. And it's The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. Hey, so feature editing Kaitlyn here. I decided to switch my rating of this book from 5 stars down to 4. Now, having thought about it more, now we can get back to the video. And you're probably like, oh, what did the Better Than the Movies get? That one got 4 stars. That book was too long. And they had the whole miscommunication trope in it. It was... The ending of that book was just boring. Or annoying. This one, though, it's a lot shorter. I probably read this in like a day and a half. And I loved like every second of it. The magical realism aspect of... That's what I'm calling it, magical realism. It may not actually be that, but I'm calling that anyways. So our main character, Emily, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Because I'm like, I can't remember how. She ends up reliving the same day over and over again for no apparent reason. It just keeps happening to her. So I would say that's kind of magical realism in a sense. And wait, what's his name? Again, I've read a lot of books since... Oh, Nick. There it is. I was like, there are so many generic guy names in and romance books. So Emily and Nick, their chemistry was great. Their relationship was adorable. This book honestly like reignited. Actually, I think because coming off of the high that was Reckless in that romance, and then coming into this, nothing will be able to compare to Peyton and Kai, to be honest, especially in a plain romance book. But I did love their dynamic and kind of how they fall in love with each other is really cute. And how like it's basically feels like fate is wanting them to be together because of just a lot of stuff that happens. It's fate, and it's so great. Yeah, it's so cute and so sweet, and it's honestly such a lovely book. Now, there is a decent amount of swearing in this book. Same with Better Than the Movies. But if you're like me and you could just kind of like skim over it or replace the word in your head like I do all the time, then it probably doesn't bother you. But if you don't really like reading books with some language in it, then don't read it. But it's so good. I would definitely recommend this. It's so cute. It's YA. The tension's high. Not really, actually. It's not very high, but it's so cute. And if you're like me who hates like the miscommunication trope, I hate that trope so much. In any kind of book. Unless it's done right. Unless it's like, okay, that makes sense why that, you wouldn't, that makes sense. But that rarely ever happens. In this one, there was no miscommunication. No. He straight up told her, I don't want to spoil the book. Spoiler warning right here. He straight up told her, like, hey, I don't have time for relationships right now. We're not going to happen. No miscommunication. He just straight up said we're not going to happen. So I was like, thank you for at least being honest. And then stuff unraveled near the end. But I do love this book. Spoiler warning over. I do love this book. Again, first ever, and probably it may be the only romance book I read that gets 5 stars from me. Yeah. 5. Next, we have The Fever Code. This book got 3.75 stars. I like this better than The Kill Order, but I don't really have many other thoughts. Other than, hey, let's go. I finished all of the Maze Runner series now. I think that's one of the first dystopian series I've actually read all the books of, because now Hunger Games is sending out new books, so I can't say I've read all of them yet. It was good. It gave a lot of good lore. This is also a prequel to The Maze Runner, by the way, by James Dashner. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Now, was this my lowest rated? No, definitely not. There's another book coming up that was my lowest rated. But that video won't come out until after this one, so you'll find out why it's my lowest rated, probably in this video. But I won't talk a whole lot about that one since I have a video coming out later about it. But that's, again, like, near closer to the end of the month. I liked this. It was okay. I don't know why, but I just... Recently, the prequels for The Maze Runner, both Kill Order and this one, I was reading it and I was kind of just like, okay, you're just a lot of world dumping, like, it's okay, yeah. I did like this one because we get to see Thomas before he goes into the maze and how he actually gets put into the maze, which is really cool. So, that was great. There was a plot twist in here that I didn't realize who Teresa actually was, which explains so much of her character now. But yeah, again, I gave it 3.75 stars. It was pretty good. So next is Truth Beyond the Lies. So this is where we're getting into the books that I don't have designated reading vlogs for. I read this book and the next two, well, the next one in like 15%, in this video of I attempted to read for 12 hours. So if you want to hear my thoughts and opinions about these next 3 books in real time of when I was reading them, you can go watch that video and check that out. So, The Truth Beyond the Lies is a gender-swapped Pinocchio retelling by Kathleen Bird. And I gave it, what did I give it? 3 stars. Yeah, I gave it 3 stars. I liked it. I wouldn't say... Obviously, I give it 3 stars. I want to say I'm obsessed with it. I also think when it comes to fairy tale retellings, which I'll definitely talk about this just a little bit when I get onto, because I read 2 fairy tale retellings this month, is that it's hard when you're not emotionally connected to the original story that this fairy tale retelling is taking from. So I've never liked Pinocchio, the movie, or the fairy tale, mainly the movie. It's extremely boring and I don't like it. So... when it came to reading this one, I was like, okay, hey, maybe I like it. The ending of it was great. There were many points and stuff. It's also the first book in a series. So I think that maybe these characters might come back later, which would be really cool to see some of her other characters all intermix. Because the next one in the series is an Aladdin retelling. And then the next one after, there's only 3 books out of it, out right now. And then the one after that, the newest one is a Cinderella retelling. So... pretty good. I think I might like those ones more. I'm probably, and they're like based in like a steampunk era. So it's actually it's quite interesting. I didn't love this one, but again, I'm not a huge Pinocchio fan, so it was really hard to connect to the characters because it is pretty much the same plot. Well, no, not exactly the same, but close to the same plot. Like obviously there's similar elements. I like the gender swap though. It was really interesting to read it from a girl. That was really cool. And then yeah, I really don't have many more thoughts about this one. If you want to know more of my thoughts, I definitely talked a lot more about it in the I attempted to read for 12 hours video. And then what's next? Next, also in that same video, I started and finished P.S. I Still Love You, the second book in the To All the Boys I Loved Before trilogy. I gave this book 3.5 stars. I don't know how I feel about this one. Because... honestly, Laura Jean and Peter were getting on my nerves in this book. Both of them, both Peter and Laura Jean, were getting on my nerves in this book. I was rooting for John Stamos. Not Stamos. Wait, hold up. What? Ambrose. Sorry, John Stamos is an actor. Ambrose. Sorry. John, what, that's the name, right? I think it's Ambrose, yeah. I'm pretty positive it was John Ambrose. Yeah, John Ambrose. We're good. I don't know. It's an actor. Okay. I was rooting for him just because he felt like the better fit for Laura Jean than Peter. I feel like Peter, I don't know if this is like a book talk. I don't have book talk. Bookstagram or BookTube trend going around. It's like, hey, what characters do you think would actually get divorced after the book? Peter and Laura Jean, hands down, are gonna get a divorce. Okay, maybe the third one will redeem them for me, but as of right now, I'm like, these two are getting a divorce. These two are not lasting past high school. It's like, they really don't mesh well. Like, I get opposites attract, but even then, like, Laura Jean's is very insecure this whole book, and Peter's not helping on that. He's kind of almost making it worse. And it's almost like Peter's trying to change her into the girl that he wants her to be, and that's just not who Laura Jean is. And it was bothering me the whole book. So I gave it 3.5 stars. Because, again, I rooted for John, but I knew that Peter was her endgame anyways. So I was like, dude, I'm rooting for you, but it's not going to happen. I'm rooting for you, not going to happen. So, yeah, that's all I really feel like I have to say about this book. I feel bad because I did really like the first one. It's just I don't like Peter so much in this one. And Laura Jean as well. They're both kind of aggravating me in this book. Okay, and this is my last physical book of the month. And this is the last book on my actual TBR. So I started this and got to, I think, about 11% of the way through it in the I attempted to read for 12 hours video. And then I finished the rest of it all off camera. I love this book. This is The Burning Maze by This is The Burning Maze, the third book in the Trials of Paula series written by Rick Riordan. I loved this book. I gave it 5 stars. Which is so funny, because the first book, Hidden Oracle, got 3, and then Dark Prophecy got 4, and then this one got 5. So who knows if the rest of the series is going to be 5 stars. Or, I don't know if I should do the 6-star thing. Maybe not. I don't know. But, I loved this book so much. It was also my longest book this month with 464 pages, and I probably finished it in, 2 days. So sick of God. The ending of this book, or I wouldn't even know where to begin, where I would put that. But yeah, kind of feels like the ending of this book was emotional. You know that, the emotional damage? That's what this book did to me. Gave me emotional damage. Jokingly, not seriously. I did cry. It was emotional. Things happened. I don't know where the second one's going. Or not the second. I don't know where the next one's going. Because there's 2 more books in this series. But man, it was hard. Oh, it was so hard. That ending killed me. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Obviously, I'm very much alive. But it was good. It was so good. I love Rick Riordan's writing. Also, Apollo's starting to grow on me. Just because the second book and this one, he's so stinking funny. The first one, he's just annoying. And in these two, he's so stinking funny. And in this one, he grows so much. His character development in this book, and I'm sure it will lead to the next 2, is so good. He's starting to really appreciate humanity and, being mortal and being able to that fear of oh yeah, I can actually die, because as a god, obviously not a real one, he was immortal, he couldn't die. But in this, he's human now. That's kind of the whole point. He gets punished and sent to Earth to be human. He can die. He's mortal, and that humanity, and it's so great. His growth is incredible in this book. So yeah, that's part of the reason why I got 5 stars. And then, yeah, and the next 2 are, well, actually, one of them is an ebook, and then the other one is an audiobook. And I'll talk about them at the same time because I read them at the same time. So yeah, we're gonna talk about these at the same time. So we have Straight On Till Morning by Liz Braswell, and we have The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. So I listened to this as an audiobook, and then this I read at the same time. I did it at the same time, because sometimes I was wanting to listen to an audiobook, and sometimes I was wanting to actually sit down and read. So Straight On Till Morning, I don't really want to talk a whole lot about that one due to the fact that that video is coming out, where I talk a bit about it. So I'll give you the rating, and then you'll have to find out why I gave it that low of a rating in the video. It's gonna be it's not out yet, but it will be. I'm reading my highest rated book versus reading my lowest rated book on my TBR. So on Goodreads. So like the highest rated book on Goodreads that I have on my TBR, and then the lowest. And I talk more about that in that video. So you could go check that out once I publish it after this. Not publish it, post it after this. So I gave this, the Straight On Till Morning, I gave it 2.75 stars. And we'll leave it at that. I will not say any more, because again, I have a video coming out about it, where I'll talk more about it, if you want to hear more of my in-depth thoughts. It didn't hit. While The Hobbit, I gave 4 stars. I've already read The Hobbit. I've read all 3 Lord of the Rings. I read all 3 Lord of the Rings once. And I've read The Hobbit once as well. And listening to The Hobbit actually as an audiobook was great, because it made it easier to understand, because Tolkien, the way he writes can sometimes be confusing. And that's why I gave it 4 stars. I love The Hobbit. I feel weird giving it 4 stars when I love The Hobbit. But I think it's just if I sat down and read it instead of listening to it, I would be super confused. So that's the reason why I got 4 stars. It's just a confusing book. It's just a hard to read book sometimes. But it's actually the easier one out of the Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings are really hard. This one's easier. Because I don't remember if The Hobbit came after he wrote the Lord of the Rings. I think it did. So, I loved the Lord of the Rings. Again, if I'm choosing to listen to an audiobook, I'll just choose to listen to the audiobook, which is what I did. It's this may actually help me get through that. So that's if you don't know what The Hobbit is, have you been living under a rock? It's a very popular fantasy book by J.R.R. Tolkien, who wrote Lord of the Rings, all 3 of those, and many other books in that world, and it's really cool. I kind of want to I don't know if I'd want to read them, because again, Tolkien's got some interesting usage of words in his books, where it's what? One of my favorite things to do about listening to the audiobook is that Tolkien does a lot of songs. He puts a lot of songs in his books. So, especially, there's a lot in The Hobbit. So the person who read the audiobook and did the voices and stuff, he actually sang the songs. So it was very interesting. It was so at some point while I was listening to it, someone just bursted out singing. It was like a musical, but on an audiobook. So yeah, I really do love The Hobbit. It's a classic for a reason, and I 10 out of 10 recommend that one. So yeah, now we are at the end of this video. Yes, we are at the end of this video. Hope you all enjoyed this wrap up, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.